Respected dear family members, my pranams to you. In the last class on Hindu Dharma, we were discussing about the Vedic messages interlinked with the psychologist experiments carried out on the evolution of terrorism in certain religious group, certain sector of the people, and in certain countries. And they came to the conclusion that in which religion, in which section, in which group of people, individual consciousness, social consciousness, and cosmic consciousness contradict each other, conflict each other, there the terrorism evolves, where the people think only my God is correct, you should follow my God. Only my book is correct, you should follow my book. Only my religion is correct, you should also follow my religion. These type of views, visions and thoughts are the basis of terrorism. That's what we explained in the last class. This type of views of telling that only mine is correct is completely absent in Vedas, where individual consciousness, social consciousness and cosmic consciousness, they complement each other, coexist each other, cooperate each other. That is why we say Pashyema Sharadashadam, Jivema Sharadashadam, Sarve Bhavandu Suginaha, Sarve Santu Niramaya. That's why we say Loka Samasta Sugino Bhavantu, and so on. Today we have to explain the scientific temper and science in Vedas. You know, in Yajurveda 40th chapter 9th line, 40th chapter 9th mantra explains that Vidyam cha avidyam cha estat veda ubhayam saha avidyaya mrityam tirtva vidyaya mritamashnati. Vidyam cha avidyam cha. There are two type of Veda ubhayam saha. There are two type of knowledge. One, eternal, experiential, spiritual knowledge known as Vidya. Eternal, experiential, spiritual knowledge known as Vidya. The other one, external, experimentable, scientific knowledge. Avidya. External, experimentable, scientific knowledge, avidya. Avidyaya mrityam tirtva. We should overcome the problems in our life using the scientific knowledge, avidya, and vidyaya mritamashnute, using the spiritual knowledge. We should attain the stability of the mind. We should attain immortality. This is the basic of Indian concept, where science and spirituality integrate. And you can see in the 11th line, 11th mantra, it is given Andham tama pravishanti ye avidyam upasate. Those who are thinking that science can solve all the human problem, they are leading themselves into blinding darkness. Andham tama pravishanti. Blinding darkness. Tato bhuya ivate tamo yav vidyayam redaha. The same thing will happen. Those who think that spirituality can solve all the human problem. So we can very well say that the spirituality is not the answer for all the questions. The science is not the answer for all the questions. So the science and spirituality should go hand in hand according to Veda, Yajurveda 40th chapter, which is also known as Ishavasya Upanishad. And exactly the same thing told by Albert Einstein, the science without religion and a religion without science. One is blind, other is lame. He used the word religion, and in India it is used the spirituality, because we do not have that type of religion here in India. And now another message of Vedas which tells you that Hiranmayena patrena satyasya vihidam mugham tattvam pushanna pavaruna satya dharmaya drishtaye. If you wanted to see the truth, fact and essence, truth, fact and essence, that is in Sanskrit known as Satyam. Satyam is equal to truth, fact and essence. Dharmam is equal to duty, responsibility and privilege. Duty, responsibility and privilege together is known as Dharmam. So Satya Dharmaya Drishtaye. For knowing the Satyam and Dharmam, you should go deep into the subject. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya mugham abhihidam. The truth is covered with a golden cover. Hiranmayena patrena, golden vessel, golden cover is used for covering the Satya and Dharma. So whatever shining or glittering or the glowing, what you are seeing from outside is only the shining of the cover, not the shining of the truth and duty, responsibility, privilege. Not the shining, not the real knowledge of the Satyam and Dharma. If you want to know the real Satyam and the real Dharma, Tatatvam Pushanna Pavrano Satya Dharmaya Drishte. That cover you have to remove. That cover, Tvam, you, Pushan Apavrano. With the light of the knowledge, Apavrano, remove that. So removing the cover, according to modern science, removing the cover is known as discover. Removing the cover according to modern science is known as discover. In fact, the word discover has come from the 15th mantra of 40th chapter of Yajurveda. So you can see that scientific temper very clearly. Again you can see in Rigveda, Kim Svedvanam Kavosa Vriksha Aseda Kadamet Svet Kadaseda Shiksha Sakhipya Havisheswadava Swayam Yajaswa Tanvam Mridana. You should ask the question, why that plant has, that a tree has come there, how those trees came together and a forest has been created. Kim Svid Vanam, how that Vanam forest has been created. Ka Usa Vriksha Asid, how that plant, that a tree came over there. Kadamit Svid Kadasi. Before the forest was formed here, how it existed here. Kadasi, how it got converted like this into a forest, and what will happen in the future. Shiksha Sakhipya Havisheswadava. You should discuss about all these questions with your friends. Sakhibya Havisheswadava. Then you go deep into the subject, and Dhanvam Vridana. You have to elevate yourself by thinking and acquiring knowledge by asking question. Vishwadas Chakshuruta Vishwado Mukho Vishwado Bhaguruta Vishwadas Padam Tambakubhyam Namati Sambadatraihi Dhyava Pradivi Janayandi Vayikaha. You should search for the answer throughout the world using your eyes. You should watch throughout the world for getting the answer. So Vishwadas Chakshuhu, Vishwado Mugo, use your brain for analyzing whatever is happening in this world. Vishwado Mugo, Vishwado Baku, use your hands for going deep into the knowledge. You try to understand each and every one of the material existing on the on the surface of the earth or in front of you. Use your hands for that. Vishwado Bahu Uda Vishwadaspad. You travel to the extent possible using your legs for inquiring in search of the knowledge. Tam Bahu Vishwado Mugho Vishwado Bahu Uda Vishwadaspad Tam Bahubhyam Namadi. Then you will understand that one creator has created all these things. You just worship him, fold your hand and do prostration to him. Tam bahubhyam namadi sampadatraihi dhyava pradhivi janayan deva eka. All the celestial bodies, including the earth, dhyava pradhivi janayan, those who created those things, deva eka. The one and only one God created all these things. All other gods and deities are his manifestations. All other gods and deities are the manifestation of that single creator. This is what the Vedas tell you. And other than this, you can see that in Chandogya Upanishad it is mentioned. From Veda, Chandogya Upanishad, it is mentioned, Naka Krandanena Sarvam Karshnaya Samvijnadam Karshnaya Samityeva Satyam. Very important, very interesting message. Naka Krandanena. Naka Krandana means nail cutter. Nail cutter. Suppose you are seeing a nail cutter in front of you. The moment you see a nail cutter, you should understand that there existed a system for making a nail cutter. The production of the manufacture of or the making of the nail cutter was known to the people. There it does not end. If nail cutter making is known, then the metal for making nail cutter is also known. So the purification of the metal is known. So the ores of the metals were known. So the metallurgy of the metal was known. And the temperature needed for producing that particular metal and purification of that metal, that was also known. So everything right from the ores till production of the metal and converting the metal into a nail cutter, all the unit operations right from ores identification to production of the nail cutter, these steps were very well known. That is what you should understand from the observation of a nail cutter. So when I say that nail cutter existed 1000 years ago in India, it automatically means that all the processes needed for the production of the metal and the production of the nail cutter were known in India. So Nagakrandanena Sarvam Karshnayasam Vijnadam. Everything about Karshnayasam. Karshnayasam means iron. So everything about iron was known. Karshnayasam ityeva satyam. The truth, fact and essence of the nail cutter is that it is made of iron. So the temperature for the purification of iron, the temperature for the metallurgy of the iron from its ores, these are all known. Like that, when you are going through the Vedic messages, Vedic explanations, not merely taking the one meaning, it has got three meanings. Every Veda mantra has got Adhyatmika Sannesha, Adi Bhautika Sannesha, Adi Devada Sannesha. Adhyatmika Artha, Adi Bhautika Artha, Adi Devada Artha. These three meanings are there that you should realize whenever you are chanting a Veda mantra. And now you can see in Yajurveda the signs arithmetic progression is directly given, not indirectly. Arithmetic progression is directly given in Yajurveda, 18th chapter. You can see Ekacha me, Tisrascha me, Panjaja me, Saptajama, Navajama, Ekadashaja me, Trayodashaja me, Panjadashaja me, Saptadashaja me, Navadashaja me, Ekavigimshadishcha me, Trayovigimshadishcha me, Panjavigimshadishcha me, Saptavigimshadishcha me, Navavigimshadishcha me, Egatragimshashcha me, Trayatragimshashcha me, Chatvarishcha me, Ashtavimshadishcha me, Dvadashaja me, Shodashaja me, Vimshadishcha me, Vakcha Prasavascha, Vijascha Kraduscha, Suvascha Mordhacha, Vyasniyascha, Dhyayanascha, Ambyascha, Bhuvanascha, Bhuvanascha, Divadishcha. So this is an arithmetic progression. Without my explaining the word meanings, you can understand the meaning. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 and so on. It goes on one line. Then 1, 3, 5, 7, 7, 9 and so on up to 35, beyond which automatically it goes to 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 and so on. Then it goes up to the word Vajascha, Prasavascha, Bijascha, Kraduscha, Suvascha, Murthacha, Vyasniyascha, Dhyayanascha, Ambyascha, Bhuvanascha, Bhuvanascha, So those who created the whole universe up to that level. So you can see the quantitative, numerical, tangible numbers are given there. It goes. Similarly, geometric progression is also given. Ekam cha, dasham cha, dasham cha, shadam cha, shadam cha, sahasram cha, sahasram cha, ayudam cha, ayudam cha, prayudam cha, prayudam cha, nyarbudam cha, arbudam cha, nyarbudam cha. When the West was using only 4-digit or 5-digit number, we were using 10 raised to 35 level of number. 10 raised to 35. So the geometrical progression, numerical value utilization in India was so common during the period when Vedas were composed. And similarly, the metals are also mentioned. Sisam Yajurveda, Sisam Jame, Shyamam Jame, Trabus Jame, Urk Jame, Sunrata Jame, Rajadas Jame, Ayam Jame, Swarnam Jame, and like that. Metals are told. When, as I told you, when I was quoting from Chandogya Upanishad, if you are hearing that there existed a nail cutter, then automatically we should come to the knowledge that everything connected with the nail cutter production was known. Similarly, Sisam Chame, that means about lead. Shyamam Chame, that means about silver. Swarnam Chame, about gold. Ayas Chame, about iron. She is Trabus Chame, that is copper alloy. It is known that. So Sisam Chame, Syaman Chame, Trabus Chame, Urk Chame, Sudrata Chame, variety of metals. These are all mentioned in Yajurveda, which might have composed during 4000 BC. You know, 4012 October 4th, 4012 October 4th, Adam and Eve were born. Adam and Eve were born 4012 October 4th. But far, far before that, the Vedas were composed. So the story of Adam and Eve, as Vatican Pope said, is a fraud story. Nothing to do with that one. So far before Adam and Eve was born, you can see these Vedas were composed. Similarly, Yava Ashtame, Masha Ashtame, Tila Ashtame, Mudgha Ashtame, Galva Ashtame, Goduma Ashtame, Masura Ashtame, Priyangavashtame, Navashtame, Shyamaka Ashtame, Nivara Ashtame. This is also from Yajurveda. Yajurveda, which might have got composed about 6,000, 7,000 years ago. Don't worry about what English people said. They always wanted to bring down the historical figure of India after Adam and Eve, because they were all Christians. They never wanted to see anything beyond Adam and Eve. So always they say Vedas were composed 1500 BC or 1000 BC, or Puranas were composed after Jesus Christ. These are all their common way of shouting to see that one Indian knowledge is far after Jesus Christ and like that. That is needed for their ruling India, for denigrating Indians and for belittling Indians and for degrading Indians. That type of explanations were needed during then. But now we can go as per V.S.R. Rao's archaeological evidence, etc., where in Lothal, Ahmedabad, you can see an industrial estate functioned fully, existed during 3500 BC. World over people accepted it. 3500 BC industrial estate. Still now you can see there if you are going to Lothal. It's preserved nicely. But archaeological excavation and studies were carried out by Professor V.R. Rao in collaboration with Cambridge University, UK. So, if you go back to the Vedic textbook, you can see that all type of agricultural products, Yavashtame, Mashashtame, Tila. Yavam means barley, Masha means black gram, Tila means gingerly, Yavashtame, Mashashtame, Tilashtame, Mudgashtame, Mudga is horse gram, Mudgashtame, Galvashtame, Goduma, Goduma means wheat, Masurashtame, Masur dal, saffron dal, Masurashtame, Priyangavashtame, Navashtame, Fenugreek, Menavashtame, that is another type of fenugreek, mustard, and Nivarashtame, special type of paddy, rice. So many agricultural products have been explained. Why that agricultural products explanation has become important now when I explain it to you? Only thing that many of the agriculturists or the scientists used to say that when all these agricultural products came to India from Africa or some other country, they always label that nothing originally existed in India, everything came from outside. This is the philosophy followed by Jawaharlal Nehru, his family, and the scientists who supported him and who studied in Cambridge or Oxford. So naturally their thoughts, their DNA has been fabricated according to the Western knowledge who ruled India, who wanted to rule India for as many centuries as possible, and their philosophy got copied here by the Jawaharlal Nehru University professors and the so-called atheist and so-called semi-atheist who followed Jawaharlal Nehru through Aryan invasion theory and all type of nonsense. So our knowledge, yojana anam sahasre dve shate dve jayojane ekena nimishartena kramamana namostude. This is Sayanacharya's Bhashya for Rigveda, in which it mentions that yojananam sahasre dve. Sahasra means 1000, dve means 2000, dve shate 200, dve cha yojane 2202 yojana, 2202 yojana, ekena nimishartena, through one half, only half of a nimisha. During a period of half nimisha, ekena nimishartena kramamana namostude. O Sun God, Lord Sun, I am doing Danda Namaskaram to you because you send your rays, you send your light rays at a speed of 2202 yojana within a period of half nimisha. Now, since you are sending the light from there to earth in such a speed, we do prostration, danda namaskaram to you. So the velocity of the light travels from one spot to other spot, is not really discovered by Sir Isaac Newton, but definitely he has discovered the numerical value that 3 lakh kilometers per second the light travels. But 1 yojana is estimated according to Aryabhata as 12.11 kilometer. 12.11 kilometer in the publication of released by Indian National Science Academy, they have given this value. And 12.11 kilometer is the quantitative conversion value for 1 yojana. 1 nimisha is said to be 1/18th of a second. 1/18 second. Now, if you are recalculating these two in 1/18 of a second, if 2202 yojana into 12.11 kilometer the light travels, then per second how much will be the speed of light, that you can calculate. So Vedas give you variety of knowledge. I am only selecting minutest part from that. I have selected only minutest part from that one, just to convey you within half an hour the message that the Vedas convey you not only mere the spiritual value or the cosmic God concept, but universal messages meant for elevating the mind, the body, the family relation, the society, and the nation, plus the living beings including nature. And they also give pure science, either mathematics. You can see Brahaspati Pradamam Jayamanam Tishyam Nakshatram Abhisambhabuva. Brahaspati is the Jupiter planet, and Tishyam Nakshatram is Delta Cangri star. Tishyam Nakshatram, Puyam Nakshatram, Delta Cangri star got occulted with Jupiter, and Jupiter planet just passed over this Delta Cangri. Then this star got evolved as newly born. So Brahaspati Pradamam Jayamanam Tishyam Nakshatram Abhisambhabuva. This line is from Rigveda 10th Mandala. You can see that this type of planetary knowledge, mathematical knowledge, knowledge about agricultural product, knowledge about the metals and their alloys, these were all commonly given from that. Even an extension of Rigveda, you can see Dirghajadrasrasya Kshanayarajjuhu Parshvamani Tidyanmani cha yat prathak bodhe kurutastat ubhayam karoti. This is the Pythagoras theorem. The diagonal of a rectangle is equal to the square, the diagonal square of a rectangle is equal to the square of the base and altitude, or length and breadth, the sum of the square of the length and breadth of the rectangle. So this is Pythagoras theorem. Like that, so much knowledge existed based on pure science and technology in India. Now I have given only a superficial knowledge, and I did not go deep into that, because that is only aimed, that much only is aimed at in this preliminary type of lecture. Thank you very much. My pranams.